Beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoner, a small, grey-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. O courtiers' knees that dream on curtsies straight. O lawyers' fingers, who straight dream on fees. O ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream, which off the angry mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths...
Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say I? No. No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I do bite my thumb, sir. Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better?
Well, sir, say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen. Better, sir.
You lie.
Draw. If you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
Two households, both alike in dignity. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge, break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
Fools! Put up your swords! You know not what you do!
Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I keep the peace, Tybalt. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell. All Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward.
What noise is this? Give me my long sword. Ho!
A crutch? Why call you for a sword?
My sword, I say. Old Montague is come and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
Thou villain! That villain! Hope me not let me go!
Rebellious subjects! Enemies to peace! Profaners of this neighbour-stained steel! Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground! And hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case, to Old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart!
Where is Romeo? Saw you him today?
Right glad am I he was not at this fray.
My lord, an hour before the worship sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, that most are busied when they're most alone, pursued my humour, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the furthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from the light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night.
See where he comes. So please you, step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin!
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them sure.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favour, where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet, tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love, oh loving hate, oh anything of nothing first create, oh heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Love is a smoke, raised with a fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lover's eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with lover's tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cousin.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
I have lost myself. I'm not here. This is not Romeo, he's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What, shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why, no, but sadly tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. Word ill urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good mark, man, and she's fair I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she has sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty, starved with her severity, cuts beauty off from all posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
Lord Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike. And 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honourable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed all my hopes but she. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree. Within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store one more. Most welcome makes my number more. Go, Sirrah, trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written here, and to them say, my house and welcome. On their pleasure stay.
this is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou's hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
Come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Of all the days of the year, upon that day. For I had then laid wormwood to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove-house wall, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dug. And since that time, it is 11 years. For then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before she broke her brow, and then my husband got me with this soul. I was a merry man. Took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? By my holy day, the pretty French left crying and said,
Enough of this, I pray thee. Hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yes, I cannot choose but laugh to think it should leave crying, and say I. Yea, quoth my husband, fall'st upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted, and said I.
Stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Oh, peace. Oh, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. And I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry. That marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honour that I dream not of.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady. Lady, such a man as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Oh, madam, the guests are come. Supper served up. You called. My young lady asked for. The nurse cursed in the pantry. And everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee.
Romeo! 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 Cuz! Romeo! At this same ancient feast of Capulets, sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
Come, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. Mercutio, I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his leg.
Come, we burn daylight. Ho-
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights in vain like lamps by day. Take our good meaning. For our judgment sits 5 times in that ere once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this masque, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab has been with you. She's the fairy's midwife. And she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spider's legs, the hover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's web, the collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoner, a small grey-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. O courtiers' knees that dream on curtsies straight, O lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, O ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which off the angry mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweet meat tainted are.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace! Thou talk'st of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done. We shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen! What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, gentle Romeo.
Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will have a bout with you. My mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath corn. Am I come near you now? You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A hall, a hall. Give room and foot it go.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear, beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now, forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night. This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What, dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honour of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, Tybalt? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not, for the wealth of all the town, here in my house, do him disparagement. Therefore be patient, take no note of him.
I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What? Goodman boy, I say he shall. Go to. Am I the master here, or you? Go to.
Why, uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to! Go to! You are a saucy boy, isn't so indeed? This trick may chance to scathe you, I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are a princox. Go, be quiet, or more light, more light. For shame, I'll make you quiet. What? Cheerly, my hearts?
Patience perforce, with wilful choler meeting, makes my flesh tremble in a different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle find is this: my lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, And palm to palm is Holy Palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Ay, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by yours my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from thy lips? Oh, trespass, sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Madam?
You kiss by the book.
Madam? Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Marry, bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear Count, my life is my foe's debt.
Away! Be gone! The sport is at the best!
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Seeing so? Why then, I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen.
Come hither.
Madam?
What is yon gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
He that now is going out of door.
Marry that, I think, be young Petruchio.
No, he that follows there that would not dance.
I know not.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love, sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learned even now, and one I dance with all the Juliet!
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy centre out.
He's wise, and on my life has stolen him home to bed. He ran this way and leaped this orchard walk. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too.
Romeo!
Humours! Madman! Passion!
Lover! And if he hear thee, that will anger him. Come, he hath hid himself among these trees. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit as maids call meddlers when they laugh alone. Come, shall we go?
Go, then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou her maid art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven having some business to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. Or what if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. Oh, see how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay, me.
Speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if that wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight. And, but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love, who first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearst, thou may prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say, Jove laughs. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behaviour light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but thou overheardst, ere I was ware, my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light's love, which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these fruit treetops.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
Or what shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear
Oh,
love...
do not swear. joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it for what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Madam!
I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard, being a knight, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honourable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite. And all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon! But if thou mean'st not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
Oh, by and by I come, to cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Romeo!
My dear,
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
at the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back.
Well, let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone. And yet, no further than a wanton's bird who lets it hop a little from her hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Now, ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth, that's nature's mother, is her tomb. What is her burying grave? That is her womb. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities.
Good morrow, father.
Benedicite! What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded both our remedies within thy help and holy metaphysic lies.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline.
Thou chid'st me oft for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
I pray thee chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove, to turn your household's rancour to pure love.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
That same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kingsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
Challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares, being dead.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed with a white wench's black eye. Shot through the ear with a love song. The very pin of his heart cleft with a blind bowboy's butt shot. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than the prince of cats, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion, rests me his minim, rest, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. A duelist, a duelist.
Oh, here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower?
Right.
Why, then is my pump well flowered.
Nay, if thy wits run the wild goose chase, I have done, for thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I am sure I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Thou wast never with me for anything when thou wast not there for the goose.
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Nay, good goose, bite not.
Why? Is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art by art as well as by nature. This drivelling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there! Stop there!
Sail, sail!
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good den, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good den?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the bawdy hand of the dial is now upon the prick of no.
Gentlewoman that God hath made for himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said for himself to mar, quotha. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find a young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
Oh, she will indict him to some...
Aboard, aboard, aboard! Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell.
Lady. Marry sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
Now, afore God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave! Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behaviour, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and therefore if you should deal double with her, truly, it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence cell be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackle stair, which, to the high top gallant of my joy, must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Now God in heaven bless thee.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and a warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me, but old folks, many feign as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes! Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jeez, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that.
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's. And for a hand, and a foot, and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all this I didn't know before. What says he of her marriage? What of that? Oh, sweet. Nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? Oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady, dear, are you so hot? Marry, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward do your messages yourself.
Oh, in such a coil! Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, out to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
High fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire and powder, which, as they kiss, consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light a foot will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall. So light is vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbour air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
Oh, I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup draws it on the drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy. And as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what two?
Nay, and there were two such, we should have none shortly, for one would kill the other.
And I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
A fee simple, simple.
And by my head, here comes a Capulet.
By my heel, I care not.
Gentlemen, good end. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us. Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consort? What, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou makest minstrels of us? Look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here, all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Here Romeo comes.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery. Marry, go before to field, he'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo! The hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw.
I do protest, I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Oh, come, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your passada.
Withdraw, Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold! Tybalt, yeah! Good Mercutio,
Mercutio!
I am hurt. A plague on both your houses. I am sped. But is he gone and have nothing?
What? What thou hurt?
I scratch. Marry, 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man. The hurt cannot be much.
No, it is not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. It will serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I'm peppered. I warrant for this world. A plague on both your houses. Zoons, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Oh. Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander, Tybalt that an hour hath been my kinsman. Oh, sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor steel.
Romeo! Romeo! Brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath espied the clouds which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end.
Oh, here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
No! Wretched boy that didst consort him here shall with him hang!
This shall determine that!
Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone. Away!
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay? Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer, which way ran he? There lies that Tybalt. Up, sir. Go with me. I charge you in the prince's name, obey!
Fire beginners of this fray.
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt! My cousin! Oh, my brother's child! Oh, prince! Oh, cousin! Husband! Oh, the blood is spilt of my dear kinsman! Prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague. Cousin, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair, bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who, all as hot, turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn with one hand, beats cold death aside, and with the other, sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, "Hold, friends, friends, part!" And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it they go like lightning. For ere I could draw to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth. Or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offence, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll amerce you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste. Else, when he is found, that hour is his last.
Spread thy close curtain, love, before midnight, that runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or, if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil night. Come, night, come, Romeo, come, thou day in night. For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. Oh, here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there, with the cords that Romeo bid thee fetch?
Aye, the cords.
I mean, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Ah, well a day, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. Alack the day, he's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo! Whoever would have thought it? Romeo!
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, and that bare foul eye shall poison more than the death-darting eye of a cockatrice.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark here on his manly breast. A piteous course, a bloody piteous course. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
Storm is this a blow so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered? And is Tybalt dead? My
cousin and my dearer lord. Then dreadful trumpets sound the general doom. Who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh, God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alas, the day it did.
Nature, what hast thou to do in hell when thou didst bow the spirit of a fiend in mortal paradise of such sweet flesh? Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men, all perjured, all forsworn, all naught, all dissemblers. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blessed be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit, for 'tis a throne where honour may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him!
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name, when I, thy 3 hours' wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you mistaking offer up to joy. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort, wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death, that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That banished, that one word, banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sour woe delights in fellowship, why followed not, when she said Tybalt's dead, thy father, or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern lamentations might have moved? But with a rearward following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wound with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those corpse. Poor ropes, you are beguiled, both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed. But I, a maid, die, maiden widowed. Come, corpse, come, nurse, I'll to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maidenhead.
Hie to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. To him, he is hid at Lawrence cell.
Oh, find him, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamoured of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? merciful, say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Thou cutt'st my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
O deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing, live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honourable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips, who even in pure and vestal modesty still blushes, thinking their own kiss is sin. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death?
O fond madman, hear me but speak a word.
No, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armour to keep off that word. Adversity, sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee, thou art banished.
Yet banished! Hang up philosophy, thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished. Then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I. Unless the breath of heartsick groans mist-like enfold me from the search of eyes.
Hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while, and stand up, run to my study. By and by! Godswill, what simpleness is this? I come, I come. Who knocks so hard? Whence come ye? What's your will?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, Holy Friar. Oh, tell me, Holy Friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
Piteous predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up. Stand up. Stand, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep a no?
Speak'st thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth she not think me an old murderer, now I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she? And how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name shot from the deadly level of a gun did murder her, as that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion!
Hold thy desperate hand. Thy Juliet lives, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt will kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings lights upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou poust upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look thou stay'st not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua. But thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before, nurse. Commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son, Paris, love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next... Oh, but soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday? Well, Wednesday is too soon. A Thursday, let it be. A Thursday, tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we revel much. Therefore we'll have some 6 friends, and there an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. A Thursday be it, then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho! Or for me, it is so very, very late that we may call it early by and by. Good night.
Wilt thou be gone? 'Tis not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it, It is some meteor that the sun exhales, to be to thee this night a torch-bearer and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needst not be gone.
Let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content so thou wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is't, my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. It is. I hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Oh, now be gone. More light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse?
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broad. Be wary, look about.
Then, window, let day in, and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, lord, I, husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, think'st thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh, God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee, now thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou look'st pale.
And trust me, love, in my eye so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Fortune, Fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, Fortune, for then, I hope, thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears?
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain Romeo. But weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live. Shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him. To wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now, I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
Joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child. One who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectst not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn. The gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
No, by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
Oh, madam.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle dew, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. How now, a conduit girl, what, still in tears, evermore showering? How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How? Will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate. That is meant love.
How now, chop logic, what is this? Proud, and I thank you not, and yet not proud, Mistress Minion you. Thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion, out, you baggage, you tallow-faced!
What are you mad? Good father, I beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
That's bread! It makes me mad! Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone, in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair domains, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honourable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man. And then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammet, in her fortune's tender to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me. But as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on't, I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul, I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you. I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands, as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish-clout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath, beshrew my very heart. I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were as living here, and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvellous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence Cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will. And this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation! Oh, most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which he hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counsellor, thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. What of the friar to know his remedy? If all else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
Look, sir, here comes the lady towards my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That maybe must be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye, I'm sure that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrong'st it more than tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and what I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield, I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
hast done so, come weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God's joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand, by thee to Romeo sealed, shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. If rather than to marry County Paris thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame, that copes with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me go into a new-made grave, and hide me with a dead man in his shroud, and I will do it, without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber.
Aye, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which, well thou knowest, is cross and full of sin.
Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off.
Come, vial. Romeo, I come. This do I drink to thee.
When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humour, for no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou liv'st. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to paly ashes, thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up the day of life. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes, uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to the same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua.
Nurse, wife, what nurse, I say? Go, waken Juliet, go and trim her up. I'll go and chat with Paris. I make haste, the bridegroom, he has come already. Make haste, I say. Mistress! What, mistress? Juliet! Fast, that warrant has she. Why, lamb! Why, lady! Fie, you slugabed! I must needs wake her. Madam! Oh, aye. Let the county take you in your bed. He'll fright you up, i' faith. Will it not be? What, dressed and in your clothes and down again? I must needs wake you, lady. Alas, help! My lady's dead! Oh, well a day that ever I was born some aquavitae. Oh, my lord, my lady! Oh, is this here? Oh, lamentable day! What is the matter? Look, how heavy
day. Oh, me. Oh, me. My child, my only life. Revive Lacan, or I will die with thee. Help! Help! Call help!
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead to see. She's dead. Alack the day. Alack the day. She's dead. She's dead. She's dead.
Huh? Let me see her. Out. Alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been separated. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day. Oh, woeful time.
Death that hath ta'en her hence to make me wail ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. What? Oh, son, the night before thy wedding day hath death lain with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day. Most lamentable day, most woeful day.
Despised, distressed, hated, martyred, killed.
Most miserable hour that ere time saw. That ever I did yet behold.
Uncomfortable time, why camest thou now?
Beguiled, divorced, wronged, spited, slain.
In lasting labour of his pilgrimage. Oh, woeful day.
Peace, ho, for shame! Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you sought was her promotion. It was your heaven she should be advanced. And weep ye now, seeing she is advanced above the clouds as high as heaven itself? Dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary on this fair course. And as the custom is, in all her best array, bear her to church. For though fond nature bids us all lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All things that we ordain at festival turn from their office to black funeral. Our instruments to melancholy bells, our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast. Our solemn hymns to sullen dirges change. Our bridal flowers serve for a buried corse, and all things change them to the contrary.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. A strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. News from Verona.
How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter, get thee gone and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. with thee tonight. Let's see for means. O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts she dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds, with overwhelming brows, culling of simples, meagre were her looks. Sharp misery had worn her to the bones. Noting this penury, to myself I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, this same thought it but forrun my need, and this same needy hag must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, wretch! I see that thou art poor. Hold. There is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and oppression starveth in thine eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors, and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
Well, I could not send it. Here it is again. Nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Get me an iron crow, and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me thy torch, boy. Hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen.
Hi, my Lord Paris.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will dew. Or, wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep.
Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron.
My lord, what cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right?
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning see thou deliver it to my lord and father. charge thee?
What with the torch? Muffle me night a while.
Whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring. A ring that I must use in dear employment, therefore hence, be gone. But if thou, jealous, dost return to pry in what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers of the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
For all this same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable Moor, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died. And here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee, I beseech thee, youth. Put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone! By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone. Live and hereafter say, a madman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh, Lord, they fight! Are you no call to what? If thou be merciful, open the tomb, lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble County Paris. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no, a lantern slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there by a dead man interred. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death? Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favour can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin.
Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot. Now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss. I die.
St. Francis be my speed. How oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern it, burneth in the Capel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir. And there's my master, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
Romeo? Alack, what blood is this which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discoloured by this place of peace? Romeo. Oh, pale. Who else? What, Paris, too? And steeped in blood? Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar. Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romy?
A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come, come away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet.
Lead, boy, which way?
I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away.
What's here? A vial closed in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them to make dye with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
noise. Then I'll be brief. Happy Decker. This is thy sheath. There rust, and let me die.
Here's Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold him in safety. See the prince come hither. What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
What should it be? That they so shriek abroad?
What fear is this which startles in our ears? Sovereign, here lies the County Paris, slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Oh, heaven! Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath misstain. For lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and it missheathed in my daughter's bosom.
Oh me! This sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
O thou untaught, what manners is in this to press before thy father to a grave?
Here is a friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this. I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them. On their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed and would have married her perforce to County Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo that he should hither come as this dire night to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awaking, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her, come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but, as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy, and if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time unto the rigour of severest law.
Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death. And then in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death going in the vault if I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter, I will look on it. Where is this county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with
flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by my master drew on him, and then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make good these good men's words. Their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate. That heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, Brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more. For I will raise her statue in pure gold. That while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie. Poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go, hence, to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Romeo was played by Tristan Gravel and Juliet by Vanessa Kirby. The nurse was played by Rosie Cavaliero, Friar Lawrence by Ron Cook, and Prince Aeschylus by David Tennant. Mercutio was Paul Reddy, Benvolio, Adam James, Tybalt, Carl Prekop, and Paris was Johnny Flynn. Capulet was played by James Lely, Lady Capulet by Naomi Frederick, and Montague by Peter Hamilton Dyer. Balthazar was Don Gillet, Gregory, Harry Livingston, Samson, Joe Sims, the Apothecary, Christine Absalom, and the prologue was Tracy Wiles. The music was composed by Roger Gula, sound design was by Colin Guthrie, and the play was directed by Jessica Dromgoole.
War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, dramatized by Marcy Kahan and Mike Walker. Episode 1, Plots and Stratagems.
If you have nothing better to do, and if the prospect of spending an evening with a poor invalid is not too alarming, I shall be charmed to see you between 7 and 10. My invitation went out this morning, and here they all are, in their court uniforms and evening gowns. Well, who can blame them? I am Anna Pavlovna Scherer, maid of honor and regular confidant of the Empress Maria Fyodorovna. If you wish to be au courant with politics, to debate with influential statesmen. If you can't resist the latest Petersburg gossip, then it would be foolish indeed to miss one of my evenings. Ah, here he comes now. Prince Vasily, one of our leading intriguers. He's been trying to calm everyone's nerves about the crisis in Europe. Well, I shall attack first. Eh bien, mon prince. So, Genoa and Lucca are now private estates of the Bonaparte family. This latest farce, Napoleon's coronation at Milan. No, I warn you, if you continue to make excuses for that Antichrist, no longer count yourself a friend of mine.
Mercy on us, what a violent attack. I am not so much concerned, cher ami, with the follies of Bonaparte, but with this attack of La Grippe, which they say has laid you low.
Very well, you are saying nothing. Your daughter has arrived, Prince. La belle Hélène. See how all the heads turn. Are you aware that since her coming out, she has won everyone's heart?
Most gratifying.
Unlike your son, Anatole. I'm not sure I should say this.
Please.
The other day, in Her Majesty's presence, they were talking of Anatole. His dissipation, his wild escapades. Everyone was sorry for you.
Ma chère Annette, what can I do? The young scoundrel is costing me 40,000 rubles a year.
Have you never thought of finding the young prodigal a wife?
Well, naturally.
I know of a Princess Maria who lives unhappily in the country.
Is she wealthy?
Her father is very rich, but miserly. You must know him. The famous Prince Bolkonsky. Very clever and eccentric. Her brother Andre is an aide-de-camp with General Kutuzov.
She is of good family and rich. That's all I desire.
Andre is over there with his wife Lise and your daughter. We can start the ball rolling this very evening.
If you can arrange to take Anatole off my hands, I shall be your most devoted slave. With an F. As a bailiff of mine writes in his reports. Forever and ever.
Look at Vasily now, gliding across the room, charming Andre's wife with his attentive smile. Poor Lise. I remember when they called her the most seductive woman in Petersburg. Now that she's married and pregnant, her husband never looks at her. Mind you, Andre always was a cold fish. Handsome, clever as his father, yet so world-weary. What was that? Oh, I might have known. That ungainly cousin of Prince Vasily's, Pierre Bezukhov. He's knocked over a chair. What a huge oaf the man is.
Revolution is a grand fact.
Revolution and regicide a grand fact, my dear Monsieur Pierre. Whatever next?
I'm not speaking of regicide, I'm speaking of the idea.
I am sure the Vicomte is fascinated by your thoughts, my dear. But why not come over here and have a word with my aunt?
But I have nothing to say to your aunt, madame.
Really now? I would think this was the first Petersburg soiree you ever attended.
Oh, that's true. I've been abroad for so long that I've never had the chance to socialize with my countrymen. I realize you only invited me because I'm related to Prince Vasily.
One does not say such things, Monsieur Pierre.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, where are you going?
Someone I must talk to. Excuse me. Sorry, Prince Andre?
Now, where has he gone? Oh, good. He's found Prince Andre. That should keep him quiet.
Bezukhov, you here? You in such illustrious society?
I knew I should find you here. I'm coming to supper with you, may I?
No, impossible.
Now you must introduce me to this wife of yours.
Here she is. Lise, my friend Pierre Bezukhov. Pierre is one of the fortunate ones. He's been living abroad.
How do you do?
Your husband is one of my dearest friends, Princess.
How out of place Pierre looks. That great beaming face of his among the scheming parasites. Look at them all. Anna Pavlova's prize zoo. The Vicomte Mortemar, a well-born nonentity, the sort of man the rest of Europe is trying to expel. The Abbé Morio. Anna Pavlova calls him a profound thinker. That's because he's careful never to open his mouth. And our reigning society beauty, La Belle Hélène. In any other country, they'd see how vacuous and vain she really is. Don't these people realize we've turned the corner of a new century? There are new ideas. One man, Napoleon, is challenging everything. They're so self-absorbed. They see and feel nothing.
My husband is deserting me, Monsieur Pierre. He's sending me into the country while he gets himself killed.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Tell me, what
is this nasty war about?
I wouldn't advise that, my dear.
Why not, Prince Vasily?
My cousin Pierre is a man of extreme and radical views, none of them sound.
I should love to tell you my ideas, Princess Lise, but here is our esteemed hostess.
How good it is to see Monsieur Pierre back in his native land among friends and relations.
You must get this bear into shape for me, cher ami. He's been staying with us a month, hasn't he, Hélène?
Yes, Papa.
And your party tonight is the first time he's been among respectable people.
He needs the society of clever women. Isn't that so, Mademoiselle Hélène?
Careful, she's blushing.
They are both blushing.
Papa, we shall be late.
Alas, you must excuse my daughter and me. This wretched reception of the English ambassadors.
It was good of you to come and visit a poor invalid.
Your worries are over, chère madame. We're taking Bazukov home with us for supper.
Hold fast to your crockery, Prince André. I hope to see you again. And you, Monsieur Pierre. But I hope you will have changed your opinions.
Never. I mean, thank you. That's to say, au revoir.
Chère Annette, it's settled. I shall speak to Maria Bolkonsky about Juno.
I rely on you, my dear. Let me know how her father views the matter. There's nothing wrong with Anatole Kuragin that a good wife won't cure.
You're dawdling again, Lise.
Au revoir. How sweet the little princess is. But André no longer cares for her, that's obvious. Now, I must ask the Vicomte Mortemar about Bonaparte's recent foolishness in Italy. He'll be sure to give me a reasonable answer.
Wonderful room, Andre. The sort of place where a fellow might recline and just read and dream.
Really, Pierre, you must learn to contain your exuberance. Anna Pavlovna will be needing to retire to the country after an evening of your revolutionary polemics.
It was that Vicomte's fault, saying that Napoleon had lost his following, that he should have restored the monarchy.
My dear fellow, one can't everywhere and at all times say what one thinks. Now tell me, have you made up your mind? Is it to be the cavalry or the diplomatic service?
Can you imagine it? I still don't know.
But you must decide on something. Your father's expecting it. Have you been to the Horse Guards?
No, not yet. But here's an idea I've had that I must discuss with you, Andre. This war now is against Napoleon.
I'm glad you've been paying attention.
No, seriously. If it were a war for freedom, I could understand it. I should have been the first to join the army, but to help England and Austria against the greatest man in the world...
That's irrelevant. If everyone fought only for their own convictions, there would be no wars.
A very good thing that would be.
Very likely, but it will never happen.
Well, what are you going to the war for?
What for? I don't know. Because I have to. I'm going because the life I lead here is not to my taste.
There you are. No, you look so comfortable. Well, you haven't been arguing, have you? Monsieur Pierre, you are so very contentious.
Your husband and I were on the brink of an argument. I can't make out why he wants to go to the war.
That is exactly what I say. I simply do not understand why men cannot get on without war. André of all people. He might easily remain at court and become aide-de-camp to the sovereign. Anna Pavlovna says that would be quite easy to arrange.
That's enough, Lise.
When do you leave, Andre?
Oh, don't talk about his going. Don't talk about it. You know, Andre, I am afraid. I am afraid.
What is it you are afraid of, Lise? I don't understand.
Oh, there. What egoist men are. Just for a whim of his own, he deserts me and shuts me up alone in the country.
With my father and sister, don't forget that.
I shall be alone without my friends. And he expects me not to be afraid.
Your doctor said that you were to go to bed earlier. It's time you were asleep.
I don't care if Monsieur Pierre is here. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time, Andre. What have I done? You're going off to the war. You don't feel for me. Why?
Lise!
You treat me as though I were an invalid or a child. I see it all. You weren't like this 6 months ago.
Lise, I beg you to stop.
Please, don't upset yourself, Princess. You're just imagining this, I assure you. I know Andre. That's to say, he would never... No, excuse me, an outsider has no business. Please, don't distress yourself. I must be on my way.
No, wait, Pierre. The princess is kind. She would not wish to deprive me of the pleasure of your company.
Oh, you see? He thinks only of himself.
Lise!
Mon Dieu. Mon Dieu.
Bonsoir, Lise. Never marry, my dear fellow. Don't marry until you can say to yourself that you have done all that you are capable of, until you've ceased to love the woman of your choice and see her plainly as she really is. Otherwise, you will be making an irreparable mistake. Don't look at me with such surprise.
But your wife...
My wife is an excellent woman. But what I wouldn't give not to be married. You are the first and only person I say this to because of my affection for you.
Thank you. But I still don't understand.
Oh. You talk of Bonaparte and his career. Don't forget that while Bonaparte was working his way towards his goal, he was free. But tie yourself up with a woman and all your aspirations, all the ability you feel within you, submerged in drawing rooms, balls, idle conceits, futility. My father is right. Women are selfish, vain, humdrum, trivial in everything. So whatever you do, my dear Pierre, don't marry.
It seems so odd to me, you of all people, Andre, that you should consider yourself a failure. If you knew how I admire you, your ease in society, your extraordinary memory, above all, the way you can apply yourself, such concentration.
My life is over. There's nothing more to say. Let's talk about you.
Me? What am I? The illegitimate son of Count Cyril Betsukhov. Without name and without fortune. It's true, I am free, and you can't accuse me of not enjoying it. Only I haven't the least idea what to do with my life.
You're lucky, Pierre. With your appetite for life, it doesn't matter what you choose. Only you must stop all this carousing with Anatole Karagan. It's not worthy of you.
I can't help it. Women, dear fellow, they're so irresistible.
Women of your own class, that's a different matter. But Anatole Karagan's so-called actresses...
You're right. Seriously, Andre, this dissipated life of mine, I can't decide or think properly about anything. My head aches, my money evaporates.
Precisely.
Anatole has invited me this evening, but I won't go.
Excellent. Give me your word of honor.
Word of honor.
Oh.
Straight home. Mind you, I'd already promised Anatole I would stop by, so the promise to Andre was not strictly binding. Oh, what does it matter? By tomorrow I may be dead.
Let the bear go! Dolohov scored for a better game. Come out of the window!
Where are they rushing to now?
I've had 100 of Dolohov. No holding on. Anatole, come and see to the bets. Yakov, bring a bottle. Wait a minute, gentlemen. Here is our old Pierre. We thought you'd never get here. Anatole, the bet.
Anatole, what's going on?
First one, give us drink. Pierre, you look far too sober. Then I'll tell you. Dolohov here has laid a wager with Stevens, the English sailor.
I bet Stevens that I can drink this entire bottle of rum without taking it from my lips while sitting on the window.
With your legs dangling out.
With my legs dangling in the wind and not holding on to anything.
Come on, Pierre. Another bottle and a woman.
Where's this window?
Over here.
Be serious, we're 3 stories out.
Such an old woman, Mazurov.
Why does it take so long? Look at him. Dollhouse frightened of nothing.
Gentlemen, this is madness. He's going to kill himself. Don't touch him. Startle him, then he'll really be killed. He's living. He'll be killed.
There he is. On the ledge. He's alive. Defiantly alive. That's what I must do. Defy death. Live life to the full. And if I fall, so be it.
Dolohov, you have defended the honor of your country.
Gentlemen, who wants to make a bet with me? I'll do the same, all in one go, out on the ledge, no hands, even without a bet. I'll do it. Bring a bottle.
Yes, let's hear a bottle of rum for Monsieur Pierre.
The three of them somehow got hold of a bear.
Did you say a bear, Madame Karaki?
You heard me, Count Rostov. They took this bear with them in a carriage, goodness knows how, across Petersburg to visit some actresses.
Sheer anarchy.
Well, Countess, the police tried to intervene, but they seized a constable, tied him to the bear, and then they threw the bear into the Moika.
Oh, didn't
I assure you, Princess Trubetskoy, there was the bear, swimming about with the policeman on his back.
Regular bandits, the three of them.
Prince Vasily has managed to hush up Anatole's part in the affair. Dolokhov has been reduced to the ranks. As for the bumptious Pierre Bezukhov, he's been ordered out of Petersburg. He's here in Moscow at his father's house.
Poor old Count Bezukhov. They say his health is failing.
And this Pierre, supposedly so educated and intelligent.
That's what comes of educating young men abroad.
Well, no one here in Moscow will receive him in spite of his money. I wouldn't have him in my house. I have my daughter here to consider.
Ma?
Don't bitch at Julie.
What makes you say Pierre is rich? The fact of the matter is...
Oh, tell us, my dear Anna Drubetskoy.
Well, the old Count's reputation is notorious. They say he's lost track of his illegitimate children, but this Pierre was his favorite.
How handsome the old Count was.
He is much altered now, very ill indeed. Prince Vasily is the next heir through his wife, but no one can say who will inherit his enormous fortune, Vasily or Pierre. 40,000 serfs and millions of rubles.
You are very well informed, Princess Drubetskoy.
For your information, Madame Karagin, the old Count Bezukhov is my mother's second cousin. He is also godfather to my son Boris.
They say Prince Vasily is here now on some inspection business.
That is a pretext, of course. He has really come to Moscow to inspect the failing health of the old Count.
At all events, my dear, that escapade of Pierre's is a capital joke. Imagine how funny that policeman must have looked.
My husband has never lost his boyish sense of humor.
So I see.
Ah, the troops have arrived.
Papa, save me!
Come and kiss your old papa, Natasha. A special kiss for your name day.
Children really bursting in like that. You're spoiling her, Ilya.
Say hello to Madame Karagin and Julie, children. Good afternoon, Madame.
Many happy returns of the day, Natasha. How splendid that you and your mamma share the same beautiful name.
Merci, Madame.
Oh, what a charming child. Is that your doll, my dear? What do you call her?
Mimi. I don't play with her anymore.
Oh, hear that? Our Natasha is growing up.
I'm the resident expert on Mademoiselle Mimi.
My son Boris, Madame.
In fact, I knew Mimi before her nose lost its beauty, and long before her skull was cracked.
Come and find me, Boris.
Natasha, calm down.
There you are. She's gone.
You have an appointment soon, haven't you, Mamma? Shall I order the carriage?
Please, Boris, go and tell them.
Yes. Nikolai, Sonia, stay and pay your respects to Madame Karagin.
My son and my ward, Madame. Sonia, you remember Julie Karagin?
Yes, we met last summer.
As for Nikolai here, his friend Boris gets a commission, so he throws up the university to go into the army, all for friendship's sake.
They say war has been declared.
They've been saying so for a while. All I care about is that my Nikolai is to join the Pavlograd Hussars.
It's nothing to do with my friendship for Boris, Papa. The army is my vocation.
Nikolai's colonel dines with us tonight and will take the boy back with him. What am I to do?
If you don't wish me to go, Papa, I'll stay. But I'll be no use anywhere except the army. I can't become a diplomat. I'm not clever at disguising my feelings.
See how he flares up. This Bonaparte has turned all their heads. They are all thinking of how he rose from ensign to emperor. Well, good luck to them.
Nikolai, you remember Julie Karagin?
What a pity you weren't at the Aharovs on Thursday, Nikolai.
I would have been there, Mademoiselle Julie, had I known you were going.
Please, excuse me.
Sonia? I'm sorry, she's upset. I must... Sonia!
Oh dear, how these young people wear their hearts on their sleeves.
Yes, Natasha is in love with her cousin Boris. Now, I know she's too young, but if I'm strict with her, she'll start having secrets. I'm indulgent, so she tells me.
Where has Boris gone to? He was supposed to order the carriage.
Children, my dears, what is one to do?
Where can I hide? Behind these flower tubs. Boris will never find me. I'll make him hunt for hours. He's coming. Doesn't see me. He's too busy admiring himself in the mirror. How handsome he is. Oh,
Oh, he's going. Oh, I shan't call to him. Let him find me. Someone's coming. Sonia! She's crying. Poor Sonia, I better go to her. No, you can say Clyde.
Sonia, what is it? I've been cleaning the house for you.
Nothing. Leave me alone.
I know what's troubling you.
I would have been there, Mademoiselle Julie, had I known you were going. So you've been thinking about her and pining for her.
How could you?
In front of everyone. Well, so much the better. Why don't you go back to her?
Sonia, listen. How can you torture me and yourself over a mere nothing?
Why should I believe you?
Because the whole world is nothing to me. You are my all.
What if your mother heard you, Nikolai?
Mama loves you, Sonia. You're one of the family.
I'm a poor cousin. Mama would say I'm ruining your career, preventing your marriage to a rich heiress like Julie Karagin.
That's nonsense. If you don't believe me, I'll have to...
Oh, how nice. He's kissing her and she's kissing him.
Nikolai, Sonia. Oh, I didn't mean to intrude. I can't find Natasha anywhere. No, we haven't seen her. Come, Sonia. Let's go for a walk. Natasha?
Boris, over here. I have something to tell you.
Oh, well. What is it, Natasha?
Would you like to kiss me?
What are you doing?
How absurd you are. It's my name day. Why can't I kiss you full on the lips?
Natasha, you know that I love you, but...
Are you in love with me, Boris?
Yes, I am, but please don't let's do this again. In another 4 years, I shall ask for your hand.
All right, then. It's settled.
Settled?
Forever and ever till we die.
Yes. I must find Mother.
Stay with me, Boris. I shan't kiss you again. Promise.
Where is my Boris? We're going to be late for our call to the old Count Bezuhoff, and time is of the essence.
My dear Anna, posting off alone in a carriage, Moscow, Petersburg, seeing all those ministers and important people.
God grant that you never know what it is to be left a helpless widow with a son you love to distraction.
My poor Anna. Mind you, our life is not all roses either. People look at the Rostovs and they think we are still so well off, but they have no idea of our expenses, even in the country. Theatricals, hunting, shooting.
Your dear Ilya is too good-natured.
So I keep telling him. But Anna, dear, how did you manage it? Your Boris is an officer in the Guards, while my Nikolai is going as a mere cadet.
Prince Vasily, he petitioned the Tsar on Boris's behalf. He couldn't do enough for us. I am at your entire command, dear princess. His very words.
Do you know, Prince Vasily used to pay court to me in the old days.
Well, his granting my wish has been a mixed blessing. Oh, Natalie, would you believe it? I'm down to my last 25-ruble note, and Boris needs 100 for his uniform. My only hope now is Count Bezuhoff. After all, he is my Boris's godfather.
Surely he will leave something to Boris.
Heaven only knows. Oh, when I think of that old Count, all alone, that enormous fortune, and what is he clinging on to life for, while my Boris's life is just beginning?
My dear Anna, your Boris is waiting with the carriage.
Oh, at last.
If you see Pierre at his father's house, do invite him to dine with us later. He used to come here and play with the children, you know.
Good luck, my dear.
Thank you.
Come back soon.
Yes, of course. Goodbye. Goodbye. My good man, I am Princess Trubetskoy. I have come to pay my respects to Count Cyril Bezuhoff.
He is very ill.
I am a relative, and here is his godson. We shall not disturb him. I need only see Prince Vasily kindly announce us.
Very well, Princess.
Thank you. Now, be affectionate and attentive, Boris. Count Cyril is your godfather, and your future depends on him.
Mother, really, I hardly know him. Nothing will come of this except humiliation.
Prince Vasily! Be nice, Boris, promise.
Oh, very well.
Ah, mon prince, in what melancholy circumstances we meet again. How is our dear invalid?
The doctors give very little hope.
Oh, how dreadful. I should so much have liked to thank Uncle once more for all his kindness to Boris. The old Count is Boris's godfather.
In Moscow on leave, are you, Boris?
I'm awaiting orders to join my new regiment, Your Excellency.
Now, tell me, has our dear uncle performed his final duties? No? Then
better wait till this evening, Anna Drobetskoy. The doctors are expecting the crisis.
Oh, one can't delay, Prince. The salvation of his soul is at stake.
How is he?
Still the same. What can you expect with all this noise? Oh, Princess Katish, I hardly recognized you. I had just arrived in Moscow and am at your service in nursing our dear uncle. She's obviously upset, poor girl.
Anna Drobetskoy. I really think...
Exactly, Prince Vasily. It's time I went in and saw the Count. Boris, you had better go find Pierre. The Rostovs have invited him to dinner, though I assume he won't go.
On the contrary, I should be only too glad if you would relieve me of that young man. He does nothing but mope about here. The Count has not asked for him once.
England's day is over, Mr. Pitt. As a traitor to united Europe and to the rights of man, I, Napoleon Bonaparte, hereby sentence you... Oh. Oh, I was just...
Good evening, Monsieur Pierre. I've come with my mother to visit your father, but it appears he's not well.
Yes, they told me. They won't let me near him. But that's to say, my relatives Vasily and Princess Katish seem to be nursing him.
Count Rostov begs you to come and dine today.
Ah, Count Rostov. Then you are his son Ilya. I didn't recognize you at first. Do you remember how we used to drive to Sparrow Hills with Madame Jacques?
I'm Boris, the son of Princess Anna Drobetskoy. It is Count Rostov, the father, who's called Ilya. His son's name is Nikolai. And I never knew any Madame Jacques.
Oh dear. Oh dear, of course. You are Boris. Well, what do you think of the Boulogne expedition? It will go hard with the English if Napoleon gets across the Channel.
I know nothing about it. Here in Moscow, the only talk is of you and your father. Everyone's wondering to whom the Count will leave his fortune. Though I hope he succeeds in outliving us all.
Yes, it's all very sad.
To prevent misunderstanding, Monsieur Pierre, my mother and I are very poor, but you will be greatly mistaken if you presume that either of us are here to get something from him.
Well, indeed, I never thought. I know very well. That's to say, but I'm sorry for my father as a man, but what can one do?
Forgive me for speaking so freely. I make it a principle to do so. Will you come to dinner at the Rostovs?
Yes. Yes, of course. Dinner. Why not?
The old Count is in a dreadful state, Boris. He hardly recognizes anyone.
What I can't determine, Mars, what are his feelings towards Pierre?
The will shall make everything clear, my dear, whether it favors Pierre or Prince Vasily, with a little something for us, God willing, our fate hangs upon it.
But what makes you think he'll leave us something?
Oh, my dear, he is so rich and you're so poor.
That's hardly a sufficient reason, Mamma.
The drive is filled with carriages. The Rostov name day party has already begun. Hurry and get ready, Boris.
She's here, my dear. Our guest of honor's arrived.
Maria Dmitrievna!
Health and happiness to my dear Natalie. As for this husband of yours, speak up, you old sinner. Bored to tears in Moscow, are you? Well, no chance to go shooting with the dogs. No time for that now. You've growing sons, Nikolai and Fyetcha, and a daughter to marry off. Aha, where is she? Where's my unruly Cossack?
I'm not your Cossack today, Maria Dmitrievna. I'm just Natasha. It's my name day.
Oh, name me no name days. You are a Cossack, but I'm fond of you all the same. Here we are. A pair of precious stones for the ears of the Cossack.
Oh, they're beautiful, Mama. Look.
Oh, sir. Oh, do my eyes deceive me? Or is that Pierre Bezukov? Come here, sir.
Madame?
I was the only person to tell your father the truth in the old days, and in your case, it's a sacred duty.
I'm at your service, madame.
Oh, a pretty fellow, I must say. His father lies on his deathbed, and he amuses himself setting a policeman astride a bear. For shame, sir. It would be better if you went to the war.
Perhaps you're right, madame.
I know I'm right. Well, I suppose it's time we were all at the table. Yes. Come along now.
Are we having this?
What I don't see, Colonel, is why we should have to fight Bonaparte in the first place. Napoleon is Austria's problem. It's nothing to do with
see my son's going.
Well, I have 4 sons in the army, but still I don't fret. It's all in God's hands. You may die in your bed, or God may bring you safely out of battle.
Oh, that is so.
You won't dare ask Natasha. No, you won't.
Yes, I will, Picture.
Mama? What is it, Natasha?
Mama, what sweets are we going to have?
Cossack!
You see, Pet, I did ask.
We are having ice cream, only you will not be allowed any.
Marita Dmitrovna, what sort of ice cream? I don't like ice cream.
Carrot ices.
What kind? I want to know.
Pineapple, you little scamp. But first, ladies and gentlemen, a champagne toast to my precious countess on her name day.
To Countess Rostov and to our precious Natasha.
To Natasha! And may we always be as happy as we are today. Oh, I know, time flies, everything changes, we have our work to do in the big, busy world. But it is occasions like this, a candlelit table, plenty of food and wine, the smiling faces of family and friends. These are the times we really live for.
That's enough philosophy, my dear Count Rostov. Let you and I start the dancing and show these young people how it's done. The old style.
Well, look at Papa dancing with Maria Dmitrovna.
Who would have thought? Papa, soaring about like an eagle.
Maria Dmitrovna hardly moves at all, but look, her face is moving.
Monsieur Pierre is looking lost again. Go and cheer him up, Natasha.
Excuse me, Monsieur Pierre.
Mademoiselle Natasha.
Mamma told me to come and ask you to dance.
Oh, I'm afraid I shall go crashing into the others. But if you will be my teacher...
I'm willing to try.
Oh, my dear.
That's it, Monsieur Pierre. Now, you turn this way.
Yes.
I go round you. And now we come together. I'm dancing. I'm dancing with a grown-up man. A man from abroad. With a wicked reputation.
Ilya, come. Look at our Natashenka.
Don't point at me, Mama. It's my natural to dance.
She's growing up, Ilya. She'll be married before we turn round.
She's turning into a beauty, you can't deny it.
Excuse me, Monsieur Pierre.
Princess Drubetskoy, why aren't you dancing?
Your father, Monsieur. He's had another stroke. Prince Vasily has sent word. He says you must come at once.
Yes, of
Do
course.
come. I have the carriage waiting.
I'm so sorry.
Please desert me.
Princess Katish.
Prince Vasily, has anything happened?
Don't fret, Katish. There is no change. I only came to have a little talk about business. You and my wife are the old Count's only direct heirs. I realize this is painful for you. It's no easier for me. The fact is, I have just sent to the Rostovs for Pierre.
Pierre? I don't understand.
I had to. The old Count pointed directly at Pierre's portrait. There was no mistaking he wants to see him. Now, you must be aware that last winter the old Count made a new will, passing over his direct heirs and leaving all his property to Pierre.
Prince Vasily, I may be a woman, and according to you, all women are idiots, but even I know that Pierre cannot be his father's heir. Pierre is illegitimate.
My dear cousin, what if the old Count has left a letter to the Tsar begging him to have Pierre declared his legitimate son?
The Tsar would never grant that.
Don't be so sure. The old Count was a man of consequence in court circles, and I have it on good authority that the Tsar has already heard about the petition and is disposed to grant it.
But what about my share?
My poor Katish, don't you see? Unless the new will and the letter to the Tsar are destroyed, Pierre will not be Pierre any longer, but Count Besukov. He'll inherit everything. You won't get a penny.
I knew it. I knew I had nothing to expect in this house except meanness, deceit, envy, intrigue,
Katish, try to stay calm. Now, do you have any idea where the new will and the letter to the Tsar might be?
As a fool, I know who has been intriguing against
We're
me.
losing time, my dear
If that protege of yours, that Anna Drubetskoy, with her greasy son, Boris, she wormed her way in here last winter and turned the Count against us. That's when he wrote those vile documents.
Those vile documents, Katish, where are they?
In the inlaid portfolio which he keeps under his pillow.
Thank you.
Don't thank me, Prince. If I have a sin on my conscience, it is my hatred of that horrible Anna Drubetskoy.
The goodness of God is inexhaustible, Monsieur Pierre. They are performing the office of the last anointment.
Last anointment, of course. They've propped him up in a chair. How like a lion he still looks with his mane of grey hair. The doctor's bending over him. Is this it? The final moment? No, he's all right. They're giving him something to drink. Prince Vasily and Katish are going over to the bed. And now they're leaving the room. Should I follow? No. Better stay here. He doesn't move. Still alive, though. Handsome, even.
Now he must be moved onto the bed.
Catch hold of my arm or you'll drop him. Underneath. Lower down.
He's on the bed. He seems to be looking at me. But the eyes see nothing.
Monsieur Pierre, your father wants you.
It's true. He's looking straight at me. What does it mean? Maybe there's something he wishes to say to me. She's signaling to me. Kiss him. Yes. Nothing moved. The eyes still blank. This is interminable.
He wants me turned over.
Turned over, of course. I can do that. His arm. He can't move his arm. It's hanging back. Lifeless. He sees that I've noticed. He's smiling at me. Oh, my poor father.
He's resting now, Monsieur Pierre. Come. We better find Prince Vasily.
See here, Katish. Here they are. My dear Pierre, my poor Anna Drubetskoy. Katish has had tea served in the small drawing room. Go and eat something, or you'll collapse.
Won't you be joining us, my dear Katish?
I shall be in shortly. There is a small business matter I must discuss with the Count.
What are those papers? You can't seriously intend to bother him with paperwork?
It's no business of yours.
I'm sorry, I must see that portfolio. Pierre, my dear, come here.
Madame?
I imagine Pierre should be shown important family documents. Isn't that so, Prince Vasily?
Well, Vasily, why don't you speak? Why do you keep silent when heaven knows who takes upon herself to interfere? Making a scene on the very threshold of a dying man's room?
This is absurd. Katish, really. You're supporting. And you too, Anna Drubetskoy.
Please, Prince, after such a solemn sacrament, let the Count have a moment's peace.
No, I tell you, I will assume responsibility. I'll go and ask the Count myself about this document. Aye, does that satisfy you?
Pierre, tell us your opinion.
That's the sound. Remember, Anna Drubetskoy, you will answer for any consequences. You don't know what you are doing.
I merely think of Pierre.
You vile woman!
Now, masters, you must come quickly.
Oh, poor Count. I must see him.
Prince Vasily, she has the portfolio.
Don't worry, my dear. If we are sensible and legally...
What's happening? I don't understand.
Should I follow them?
Now you may rejoice. This is what you have been waiting for.
It's my father. My friend.
Prince Vasily?
We sin and we deceive, and all for what? I'm getting on for 60, my dear boy. I too. Everything ends in death. Everything. Death is awful.
Monsieur Pierre.
Alan Drubetskoy?
He is no more. Come, I will take you away. Try to weep. Nothing relieves like tears.
I'm afraid I feel... I don't know what I feel.
God will uphold you. You are young. You will remember your friends. Only yesterday, you know, your dear father promised me he would not forget Boris. Oh, poor Pierre. Grief has robbed you of speech. The fact is, my dear, if I had not been here, God only knows what might have happened.
Ah, here is our dear Anna Drubetskoy at last.
Dear Ilya, dear Natalie, what a night it's been. Come and sit down, Anna. We want to hear everything. Oh. The old Count is at rest. He died as I myself would wish to die.
You don't say.
It was not simply affecting, it was edifying. The father with a thought for everyone during those last hours. As for the son, he couldn't stop weeping. He is truly worthy to be the new Count Bezukhov.
The new Count Bezukhov? You mean Pierre is really to inherit that tremendous fortune?
Thanks to my efforts, my dear Ilya, Pierre shall receive what is due to him.
With that kind of money, young Bezukhov will be giving the grandest balls in Moscow.
But what of Prince Vasily? Surely he and his wife expected to inherit at least half of the Bezukhov million. Vasily's only hope now is to make a rich marriage for his children. They say he plans to marry off Anatole to Maria, the heiress of Bald Hills.
Oh, Bolkonsky's daughter? He'll have his work cut out for him with that old Tartar.
You forget that Prince Vasily is a master of intrigue.
Well, all I can say is good luck to him.
You're a minute late, Maria.
I'm sorry, Papa.
No time for excuses. Let's have your exercise book. Now, these triangles are equal. You'll observe the angles A, B, C in this triangle. Therefore, the corresponding angle in the second triangle should be...
It should be... angle ABC. It should be...
What an idiot the girl is.
Forgive me, Papa. It's just geometry is so abstract.
Mathematics is important, young lady. Persevere, and you will get to like it. Don't look so miserable.
I love learning things from you.
Yes, yes. Now, be off and solve that problem for me.
Yes, Papa.
Wait. Here's a letter for you. From your pen pal Julie, I presume.
Yes, it's from Julie.
I shall allow 2 more letters to pass, but the third I shall read.
Well, read this one if you like.
The third, I said, the third. Now go.
Yes, Papa.
Deacon, where are you? We're home. Where is everybody?
Shush, Master Andre. It's your father's nap time.
Of course, father's nap time. Something you'll get used to, Lise. This household observes an unvarying schedule.
Andre, you said Bald Hills was a country house. It's a palace.
That's father. He just keeps building. You're looking older, Deacon.
Thank you, sir.
Andre! Mademoiselle Bourienne thought she had a carriage.
Come down, Maria. You'll wake father.
Andre. My dear Lise. Oh, Maria, you've got thinner. And you have grown stouter. You remember Mademoiselle Bourienne?
Welcome to Bald Hills. What happiness for the princess.
Are you really going to the war at once, Andre?
You know I am. I must be off tonight.
Tonight? But Andre, surely going. I'm so frightened. Oh, poor Lise, don't cry.
She needs rest, that's all, don't you, Lise?
Yes, Andre.
Maria will show you to your room. Try to sleep before dinner. We can't have you bursting into tears in front of father, now can we?
Are you feeling better, Lise? Yes, thank you.
Father will be here on the stroke of 8.
I often tell Princess Maria, we don't need so many clocks at Bald Hills. Not with your father around.
Indeed.
Here's the warrior. Out to conquer Bonaparte, are you?
How are Elise.
Elise, yes, how do you do? I see you've been in a hurry. Too bad.
I'm sorry? Papa means that you will soon be making him a grandfather. Oh, yes, I see.
You must take exercise. Walk as much as possible. Much as possible.
Walk, yes.
How is your health, Father?
Only fools and rakes ever need to be ill, my boy. You know me. Abstemious and busy from morning till night, so of course I'm well.
Thank God for that.
God has nothing to do with it. Come now, tell us how the Germans have taught you to fight Bonaparte according to this new science you call strategy.
I wouldn't want to bore you, Father.
You think I'm too old to understand? Well, think again. I've been following the news. What's your southern army to do? Prussia remains neutral, but how about Austria and Sweden? How will they get across Pomerania? Answer me that.
We plan to mobilize all the armies you mentioned, Father, plus England. Some 500,000 men to attack the French from all sides.
Led by your German tacticians, I suppose. That's not the way to defeat Bonaparte. I'm told they're calling him a great general now.
Laugh as much as you please, sir. You can't deny that Napoleon is a force to be reckoned with.
Hear that, Mademoiselle Bourrienne? Prince Andre is a secret admirer of your powder monkey of an emperor.
You know that I am no Bonapartist, Prince Volkonsky.
The more fool you, mademoiselle, if Russia's fate is to be placed in the hands of a band of German strategists. The soap, Deacon. Yes, Excellency.
What a clever man your father is, Maria. Perhaps that's why I'm so afraid of him. Oh, you mustn't be, Lise. He's so kind. They told me you've ordered the carriage. I did so want to have a talk.
Talk away, Maria.
You have changed so, Andrusha.
Where is Lise?
She fell asleep on the couch in my room. Oh, Andre, what a treasure of a wife you have. She's as sweet and merry-hearted as a child.
She's certainly childish.
Think what it must be like, after her life in society, to part from her husband, be exiled to the country with all the anxiety of her first pregnancy.
You live in the country and don't find it so terrible.
But that's different. I'm not a society woman like Lise. Here there is just me and Mademoiselle Bourrienne.
I don't like your Mademoiselle Bourrienne.
You're wrong, Andre. She's very good and kind. I don't really need a companion, but Father likes her. She reads to him in the evenings.
Tell me the truth, Maria. You must find Father's temper trying at times.
Trying? How do you mean?
He's always been harsh, but with the onset of old age, he's even more difficult.
You are a good man, Andre, except for a sort of intellectual pride. Have we any right to judge Father? Anyway, I'm content with him.
Sometimes you amaze me, Maria.
I have a great favour to ask of you, Andrusha. Promise you won't refuse.
What is it, Masha?
This icon. Our grandfather wore it in all the battles he fought. Promise me you will never take it off.
So long as it doesn't weigh half a hundredweight and won't break my neck. Don't look so stricken. I shall be glad to have it. Really.
Be kind and generous as you used to be, Andre. And don't judge Lise so harshly. She's sweet and good.
Have I ever complained to you of Lise?
No, of course not. But I can see
What
that...
can you see? I have no fault to find with Lise. But if you want to know the truth, Masha, if you want to know if I am happy, the answer is no. Is Lise happy? No. Why is this so? I don't know.
Andre, if you had faith, you could turn to God. He might give you the love you do not feel.
Perhaps. Now, I must say goodbye to Father.
Are you off then?
I've come to say goodbye.
Kiss me here. Thank you. Thank you.
Why do you thank me?
Because you don't dilly-dally. You aren't tied to your wife's apron strings. You're country before everything. Now, say what you have to say.
About my wife. I'm sorry to leave her on your hands.
Don't talk nonsense. Say what it is you want.
When the time comes, send to Moscow for a doctor. I know not more than 1 in a million cases goes amiss, but this is her whim. And mine. People have been telling her things. She's had a dream. She's frightened.
That's a bad business, eh?
What is, Father?
Your wife. Nothing to be done. They're all alike. You can't get unmarried, huh? No, don't worry. I won't say a word. But you know yourself it's the truth.
Father, if I am killed and I have a son, keep him here with you. Let him grow up under your roof.
Not let your wife have him. Well, there you are. Whatever can be done shall be done. Now, listen. Give this letter to Mikhail Kutuzov. I've asked him to make good use of you.
There is no need
Remember, the son of Nikolai Bolkonsky need serve no one on sufferance. Well, goodbye. Remember one thing, Prince Andrei. If you get killed, it will be a grief to me in my old age. But if I were to hear that you had not behaved like the son of Nikolai Bolkonsky, I should be ashamed.
You need not have said that to me, Father.
We have said goodbye. Now go. Go.
Andre, why is Father shouting? What's happened, Andre?
Nothing, it's nothing, I tell you. Now then.
Oh, Andre, so soon.
Kiss me, Lise.
Oh, don't go, Andre. Please don't go.
Lise.
Oh, Lise.
It's all right, Maria. I've got her. Let her rest in the chair. She needs rest, that's all.
Andre, couldn't you at least...
Adieu, Maria.
Lise, are you all right? Lise.
I'll be fine.
Oh, my poor Lise.
Gone, has he? Well, a good thing, so.
Prince Andre, what do you see out there?
I see our soldiers being drilled, General.
And our soldiers, Prince. Do they look fighting fit?
They are Russian soldiers, General.
Oh, no glib patriotism now. Are those soldiers out there ready to join up with General Mack and the Austrian army and engage in battle?
General Kutuzov, our soldiers are exhausted. They've just marched 1,000 miles. Their boots are in terrible shape.
Exactly. Meanwhile, our Austrian allies keep insisting that we hurl our troops across the Danube. Prepare me a memorandum, Bolkonsky. How dare you burst in here, sir?
General Kutuzov, you see before you the unfortunate General Mack. We have been forced to surrender at Ulm.
Come in, General Bolkonsky. Please leave us.
Bolkonsky? Who's that? It's General Mack himself, isn't it?
I'm afraid so, Kozlovsky.
You see the bandages round his head. So the rumors were true. The Austrians have lost.
Yes. Our exhausted men will be fighting a lot sooner than we ever bargained for.
In episode 1 of War and Peace, dramatized by Marcy Kahan, Simon Russell Beale played Pierre Betsukhov, Amanda Redman, Ellen Koragin, Emily Mortimer, Natasha Rostov, and Gerard Murphy, Andrei Bolkonsky. Nikolai Rostov was Jonathan Firth, Maria Bolkonsky, Abigail McKern, Old Prince Bolkonsky, Richard Johnson, and Countess Rostov, Nicola Paget. Sean Baker was Count Rostov, Alison Pettit, Sonia, James Simmons, Anatol Koragin, Chris Pavlo, Dolohov, Hugh Dixon, Prince Vasily, and Janet Moore, Anna Scherer. Anna Dubretskoy was Caroline Jones, and Boris, David Brooks. Other parts were played by Tracy Ann Oberman, Ginny Mears, Rachel Atkins, Shirley Dixon, John Rowe, Ewan Meredith, Chris Wright, Antonia Fuebu, David Bannerman, and Stephen Thorne. General Kutuzov was played by Leo McKern. The music was by Neil Brand, technical presentation was by Tim Sturgeon and Rebecca Kirby, and the production assistant was Fenella Kapadia. The director was Janet Whittaker.
Prepare me a memorandum, Bolkonsky. How
been forced to surrender at Ulm.
Come in, General Bolkonsky. Please leave us.
Bolkonsky? Who's that? It's General Mack himself, isn't it?
I'm afraid so, Kosovsky.
You see the bandages round his head. Said the rumors were true. The Austrians have lost.
Yes. Our exhausted men will be fighting a lot sooner than we ever bargained for.
War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Dramatized by Marcy Kahan and Mike Walker. Episode 2. Disillusionment.
Napoleon Bonaparte. In the year 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of France. Even then he was dreaming of an empire which would cover Europe and Russia. Concerned by his ambitions, the Tsar entered into an alliance with Austria. In 1805, the Emperor Napoleon led his Grande Armée east, out of France, across the Rhine, and destroyed the Austrian army at the Battle of Ulm. He was now free to advance upon Vienna and entrap the forces of Russia at the little village of Austerlitz.
Austria may have been defeated. Our soldiers may be marching to defend our borders. But here in Petersburg, the only talk is of our wealthy new Count Bezukhov and La Belle Hélène. There they are on the sofa, tottering on the brink of matrimony. Yes, Prince Vasily has stage-managed it beautifully. When Pierre moved back to Petersburg after his father's death, wasn't it natural that he should move in with Vasily? After all, wasn't Vasily generously helping Pierre to administer his new fortune? And how convenient for everyone that Vasily's lovely daughter Hélène just happened to be at home every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. Only one problem. They don't seem to have anything to say to each other. My dear Count Bezukhov, how lovely to see you again. And always seated with La Belle Hélène. Well, who can blame you, Count? Her beauty is a feast for the eyes.
My dear Anna Pavlovna, how kind.
Now, I mustn't bore you. You young people have many important matters to discuss, I have no doubt.
Would you like another drink, Ellen?
I haven't finished this one, Pierre.
Oh, so you haven't. Indeed, it's nearly 3/4 full. When did this begin? Everywhere I go, people seem to assume that Hélène and I are about to announce our engagement. Anna Pavlovna is right. Hélène is remarkably beautiful. Those low dresses she always wears and that perfume. But I'm not in love. No, there's something about her. It's not that she's stupid exactly. Something unwholesome. They say that her own brother Anatole was in love with her and vice versa. That's why he was sent away.
Isn't the music nice, Pierre?
Charming. Perfectly charming. Oh, what am I thinking? She's a fine girl. She doesn't talk much, but what she says is always clear and simple. Everyone is staring at us. Our father hasn't taken his eyes off us all evening.
Anna Pavlovna, what are they saying?
Same as ever, Prince Vasily. Your daughter smiles at Pierre, and he watches her like a petrified squirrel.
What a maddening boy he is. It's time I brought matters to a head.
Really, Vasily, I don't see what you can do.
Do as you. Just watch me.
Dear children, Anna Pavlovna has just told me. I'm so pleased. I loved your father, Pierre. My little girl will make you a good wife. No one knows better than I. God bless you both. Anna Pavlovna, come congratulate the happy couple.
You are a match of the season, my dears. All Petersburg can now heave a sigh of relief. True love has triumphed.
Look at our dear Pierre. He's speechless with joy.
What must I say now? It's too late. It's all over. Besides, I think I love her. Mademoiselle, Hélène, je vous aime. I love you.
Good morning, Papa.
Bonjour, mon prince.
What's that you say? Speak up, silly goose. Well, Tikon, are we to starve? Is Princess Maria to starve?
So, we ought to have company, Prince. Princess Lise will enjoy that.
Where is she, then?
Lise wasn't feeling very well, Papa. She thought that...
She thought, did she? Tikon!
Coming, Your Excellency. Sorry, Your Excellency.
Whole place is in turmoil.
Tea, Your Excellency.
So you heard, did you, mademoiselle? Yes, tea, of course, you fool.
I heard that His Excellency Prince Vasily Kuragin was to pay us a visit.
I secured him his first appointment in the service. Young puppy he was. And now he's bringing his son, Anatole. I cannot imagine why. Perhaps Princess Maria can tell us.
No, Papa, I really don't know.
You don't, eh?
No, Papa.
He's coming to look you over, Maria. As your Moscow friends have no doubt informed you.
I did get a letter from
No
you.